It's just his mustache from Tombstone. I mean, okay.
I don't like the mustache.
Have you seen? If you've seen pictures of him from Tombstone, that's what he fucking looks like. Is he just looks like?
I know that's what he looks like. I'm saying I don't like the mustache.
Here, that's what he looks like in Tombstone. It's the same fucking
Okay,
mustache.
I, I think his Tombstone mustache is a little bit better than the
I guess
Abyss.
it does have like
Because the
okay.
Abyss, he tries to.
I guess in Tombstone it is a little bit. It's a little more of a handlebar mustache, slightly.
And it looks like in the Abyss, he's trying to go for a Hulk Hogan stash and just gave up halfway through.
I thought in this one he looked like Bennett from Commando a bit. That's kind of what he looks like. He just has a bad guy mustache. I mean, you just the
Pretty much.
the minute you see him, you're just like he's the bad guy. I mean, but again, granted, I've seen Tombstone before, so I was just like, he just looks like he does in Tombstone. So anyway. But was there? Sorry, was there? We got off track talking about Michael Bihn's mustache. Was there anything else we needed to add about the plot? I guess. Have we had a movie with a functional married couple on the podcast yet? I'm trying to think of one.
I mean, Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru were pretty functional.
Well, until they got like incinerated.
Well, that wasn't the fault of their relationship.
Because Batman doesn't seem to have very good relationships in any of the movies. Even like you look at like Star Wars, like the best romance in those is between Han and Leia, and they hate each other at first.
That's fair.
Unless I don't know, unless you think Attack of the Clones is the romance of the century, which Jesus. I can't think of any romances from the Alien movies. Mad Max, it just seems like everybody gets raped in those movies.
Yeah. Raped and killed.
I guess Superman, like Lois Lane and Superman, at least in the Christopher Reeve ones, they seem to get along okay until Lana Lang
They
shows
get along.
up.
They're not really married though. They're still sort of in a weird semi dating phase.
We were talking married couples. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's true.
What about Uncle Ben and Aunt May?
Oh yeah, that they seem to be doing it. Well, they're doing okay until Uncle Ben dies. We don't see much of their marriage, but it seems like they get along fine. I guess the only marriages that we had on the podcast
that work is when they die.
Yeah. Oh jeez. And even like Indiana Jones, in Indiana Jones, he gets married to Marion, but then they separate
and then they get back together in the fourth movie, then separate and get back together in the fifth movie.
The poor Alex Murphy, his wife. Oh my god.
You know, I guess they were doing well until Alex Murphy became a robot for the company.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, basically. Yeah.
So yeah, no. Every situation that goes great, or every relationship that goes great, is ruined by someone dying, pretty much.
Well, I guess in Deep Impact, Elijah Wood gets married in that.
That's true, but they haven't been married for a long time.
Not for very long, yeah.
So we don't know what kind of problems come up after the world doesn't end.
True Lies, they're kind of just bickering the whole time.
But they kind of fix it by the... well, I guess we're talking about, like, fine couples the whole way through, because there's a lot of these couples that fix it at the end.
Don't Will and Elizabeth get married in At World's End?
They do, but that's a complicated one
And then,
because
yeah,
then Will
yeah.
goes on to become
Because
Davy
he gets his
Jones.
heart. He basically gets cursed to be on a boat for the rest of his life.
And for what it seems like, he's going to be immortal, but she isn't. So that could cause other
Poor
problems.
Frank Castle, his wife dies in every movie. Um,
Yeah.
and then
Uh,
the fugitive, Harrison Ford's wife, dies at the beginning of the movie.
dies.
That's the catalyst of the plot. The Crank movies, are they married in those?
I don't think so. I think they're just dating. Although, I will, in that first movie, it is a shockingly healthy relationship.
No, until he gets the adrenaline, anyway.
Yeah.
Until he becomes a weirdo. What about... No, John and Holly don't really get along in any of those movies.
No.
Well, except maybe
They do in the second one.
in the second one, they're okay. Yeah, I guess that's the only. I guess that's the only one so far that we've found where their marriage is okay. Was no.
Not really any good relationships in the From Dusk Till Dawn movies.
No, yeah, either platonic or non-platonic. We do. Yeah, married couples do not do well in movies on our podcast. Apparently. Oh boy. Granted, would it be that interesting if they did a movie where a married couple is getting along? I don't know.
That's fair.
Maybe it would, because that would be something kind of new.
Novel idea for the next movie. Everyone's doing okay.
Everyone is doing okay. Annie, are you okay? Or Annie is okay, I guess. Okay. This is like the same. Wasn't this the year though that like the
I think it was. Wasn't it? It was 91 when the Soviet Union collapsed.
The Berlin Wall fell in 1991, I think.
Oh, the Berlin Wall was 1989.
Or sorry, wait a minute. 1989.
Yeah, the wall fell in 89. The country dissolved in 91.
Okay, yeah, I had the year wrong, I guess.
We've been recording for half an hour and have barely talked about the movie.
Let's keep it that way. Okay, so I am currently reading. No, I'm kidding. What do you want to talk about? The Minecraft movie? Nah, I don't know. Okay, so
I'll read off the
I guess starting with
the regular.
What were you saying?
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Nothing. It was a bad Berlin Wall joke.
Something about the Berlin Wall. Okay.
Did he have a mustache in The Rock? I don't remember.
Oh, I forgot he was in The Rock. No, he doesn't have a mustache in that. And that movie also has Ed Harris in it.
Yeah.
Are they on the same side in that one? I think Michael Bihn's a good guy in that, right? Or is he a bad guy? I know Ed Harris is one of the bad guys. Ah, shit. I feel like he was
I need to rewatch that movie.
I feel like he was sent in with Nick Cage and Sean Connery.
I know he wasn't in it for very long.
I know he dies pretty quickly. I think he's one of the good guys, right?
I don't remember. It's been a long time.
He's barely in it. The problem is he's not in the movie that long. So I guess he's like one of the good guys that just dies like really quickly in the movie. The poor guy.
Yeah, it looks like he was a good guy.
Yeah. He usually plays good guys. I mean, he played Kyle Reese, you know. He played Corporal Hicks in Aliens, you know. He's in like a ton. It seems like just I don't know. I guess James Cameron just really liked casting this dude in movies.
I mean, to be fair, he's a pretty good actor.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know what he's done recently, but I'm kind of curious actually if he's done anything recently. Wait. Um, yeah, not much. Much direct.
Oh no, he was in the Scorpion King 4.
Seems like a lot of direct to video stuff and like low budget stuff I haven't seen basically. Oh, okay. Apparently, he's going to be in our next podcast, if you can believe that. Because our next podcast is Grindhouse, right?
Yeah.
He's in Grindhouse.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that when we get to that. But basically, whenever I saw him in this movie, I was just thinking of Johnny Ringo.
Which is kind of what happened with that Titan submersible a couple of years ago, if you remember that. Or I guess last year, actually.
I don't think I heard about that, no.
You didn't hear about the Titan submersible?
No, well...
So...
I might have,
I
didn't read it.
It was this company, their CEO took like 4 people down in a submersible to go see the Titanic. He built the submersible out of fiberglass, and so when they got down, it essentially imploded.
Of course it fucking did. You made out of fiberglass, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, no. You're not even an engineer, and you can tell that that's just a stupid idea. But
that's the shit you put in walls for insulation. I mean, oh my god. Oh, for fuck's sake! Was Elon Musk involved with this?
No, but the CEO of the company, his name was Stockton Rush. He was compared to Elon a lot. He was on board when it imploded.
Stockton Rush sounds like a made-up name.
It's because he's named after 2 of his ancestors who signed the Declaration of Independence.
Stockton Rush sounds like the name of a Phineas and Ferb character.
It does. Hang on here. Because it says on his Wikipedia page, through his father, he was the descendant of 2 signers of the Declaration of Independence, Richard Stockton and Benjamin Rush.
And that's all he's going to be remembered for, is that oh my god.
Is that he died in a submersible explosion because he built a sub out of fiberglass.
Why would you build a sub out of fucking fiberglass? Like,
actually, something interesting, when all this was going down, James Cameron was brought on to, like, news channels to talk about how it happened and why it was a bad idea to build a sub out of fiberglass.
Yeah, because... Even me, I don't know much about, like, this shit. And even I'm like, wait, fiberglass? Really? Okay. Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, so there's so much shit in this we're gonna have to cut, I swear. But one of the scenes...
content episode that's longer than the main episode.
One of the... Fucking hell.
Aladdin's fantastic.
Yeah, that actually might be my favorite Disney movie, Aladdin. If not just for, like...
it would either be that or Lion King for me.
I love the genie in that. I also just love Jafar. Jafar is such a great villain. Yeah. He turns into a giant cobra at the end of the movie.
It's pretty awesome, yeah.
Yeah, that was probably the peak of, like, Disney, at least as far as their animation. Because the animation during that time period looks really good. Like, in that, in The Lion King, Hunchback of Notre Dame. But anyway, that'd be a whole other podcast if we did that. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah,
Disney,
the Disney Renaissance movies.
The Disney Renaissance, yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah, Disney used to make good movies a long time ago. What the fuck happened?
Well, hey, keep in mind, before the Disney Renaissance, they made a ton of awful movies, so we might get a second Renaissance here.
Maybe. What are you talking about? I love Black Cauldron. That's one of my favorites. The Horned King, one of my favorite villains. I kind of want to watch Terminator 2 again now.
So do I. After watching this, I just want to watch Terminator 1 and 2.
Yeah, because I remember when I last watched Terminator 2, was that like, oh, it was probably like either a year or a couple of years ago. I was like watching it, just being like, wow, this movie holds up really well, you know. Because when I watched the first Terminator movie, I also think is pretty good, but I think it's just dated. It's dated a lot more than the second one is.
It is a little bit more dated, but I really like the first one being more of a horror movie, I think.
Because what I do like about the thing I do like about the first one is that you get to see Arnold as a villain, and he's really intimidating as a villain.
Yeah.
And then the second one, it's like, you know,
And the atmosphere in the first one is just so oppressive.
Yeah. It's just when you look at it, it's like some of the effects don't hold up quite as well. You know, you can clearly tell the budget wasn't as high as the second one. Like the second one, I'm surprised at how good the effects in that hold up and stuff. You know, like the action.
Yeah.
It's a very like that movie has aged very well considering when it came out. And yeah, it's not my favorite Arnold movie. It's a good one though, you know. And we'll get to my favorite Arnold movie in a few podcasts, actually.
Yeah.
You have 2 guesses to what it is now. Okay. But yeah. His filmography is really short, actually, now that I think about it. Like,
yeah.
He has not directed as many, considering his, like, name recognition, like, what? He's only directed,
yeah, well, he had that giant gap between Titanic and Avatar, to be fair.
And then another giant gap between Avatar.
Between Avatar and Avatar 2.
I bet you're really excited to see Avatar Fire and Ash, right?
I can't wait for Avatar 4 in 5 years.
Oh my god, that's coming out in 2029?
Yeah, and 5 is coming out in 2031.
I'm gonna be in my 30s by the time you finish this shit, dude.
Yeah, I was 10 when the first movie come out, and I'll be 30. I'll be 32 when the last one comes out. That's insane.
Why was Avatar the one that he just got so attached to? Like, of all the...
Well, because I know he had that idea for a long time. Like, he started planning for it in the 90s. And I actually really like a lot of the early concept art for it. Let me see if I can find...
One thing I will say about Avatar, I'm not the biggest fan of that movie, but the visuals are actually really good.
Yes.
Like, that's a movie... I rewatched it, like, a couple years ago, and actually the CGI holds up pretty well, considering when it came out. Like there's movies that are being made... There's movies being made now. There's movies being made now that look worse than Avatar. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't think the plot was very interesting to Avatar. But yeah. And some of this concept art looks kind of cool. It kind of just looks like a 70s sci-fi, like...
But I love like that look so much.
It looks like a 70s, like, the cover of, like, a 70s sci-fi novel, like... Or, like, some of this looks kind of like Battlestar Galactica, or, like... How I could see this being, like, if James Cameron ever did, like, a... Like, Princess of Mars movie, like a John Carter movie. That looks like what he would do. Yeah. It's so weird though, because like James Cameron was usually really good at making like really memorable characters. But Avatar, I barely remember the characters from Avatar. I barely remember them. All I remember is like, like, all I remember is one of them is played by Sigourney Weaver, there's a bunch of blue aliens. But anyway, and then Way of Water. I'm not even gonna fucking talk about that one. Anyway,
Back to my overall
sorry,
thoughts.
I'm not done.
Oh.
We got sidetracked again.